This is really exciting. A classic 90s retro FPS by the name of Operation Body Count is now available on GOG.com. Playable, fully playable on modern computers, which is very exciting. GOG does great work to make old games classic playable, preserve them. Game preservation is incredibly important, and just make them playable and enjoyable. And it is available on GOG for super cheap. So I have a link to that in the chat. I will post as well. I think it is incredibly important, and I love seeing games like this become more playable. Now, I have been working on finally restoring my Windows 98 computer back there, and it's finally up and running again, so I'm happy to try out a lot of retro stuff over on my Voodoo 3 in there. I'm very excited for. And I believe Phil's Computer Lab actually has a tutorial on getting GOG games, since that's the only legal way to buy a lot of these older games. Not legal, but like, it's the only way to buy them in a way that actually supports the developers, because buying something used doesn't give any money to the creator of it. And especially when it's only $7 anyway. Picking up something like this, Phil's Computer Lab has a video. You'll have to look it up, and I'll have to dig it up when I'm ready. But you can take these versions and still play them on the original DOS and Windows 98, 95, whatever computers, which is pretty sick. So they're not, permanently altered to be modernized. You can still play them on older hardware. And this is one that also is functionable on Mac as well, which is pretty neat. We also have another modern retro game releasing. This is a game called Demons of Astaborg, which is a new action platformer / sort of RPG being developed and released, and they have physical copies and everything like that for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. This is really cool. It's inspired by games like Castlevania and Ghosts and Goblins and things like that. It looks freaking sick. I tried ordering it, and it rejected my credit card, so I'm going to have to try again at some point, because I want to get a physical copy to play on my actual Genesis over on my retro setup. But it looks great, and of course it will be releasing on Steam and things like that as well if you just want to play it on modern systems. But I love seeing these new games release on older systems. It's just a lot of fun to see this stuff get developed, and I'm stoked to really see more of this happen in recent years. By the way, speaking of retro games, my RetroTink 5X review should be coming Monday. I have had a blast making this video. It is super long. I had to release the upscaling retro games for streaming masterclass first as a kind of preface to this, because there's a lot of context that really you'll just have to go watch that video to pick up for this, and this one's already super long as is. But I put a lot of work into this video. It should be coming Monday. I'm still working on editing, but I am super stoked for that video if you've been curious about that as well.